but you're also a Saudi citizen and you're involved in all this corruption, you have to give back the money.
The Hariri affair undermined MBS's status as a reformer and made one senior American diplomat concerned about how MBS was exercising power.
The kidnapping of Hariri was a colossal blunder. This is sort of action that if you had a council of advisors, hard to believe that someone wouldn't have said, don't do that. This can't succeed. This will blow up in our face.
Aside from his desire to root out corruption, MBS had another motivation for his actions during this time. Fear. Just before MBS rose to power, the Middle East had been convulsed by a series of popular protests. Known as the Arab Spring, the uprisings overthrew governments in Egypt, Libya, and Tunisia. In Saudi Arabia, the protests had relatively little impact. But for MBS, they were a warning.
Young people throughout the region didn't like the way their rulers were ruling, broadly across multiple countries. In Saudi Arabia, I think Mohammed saw that the royal family for a very long time had been aligned with these religious authorities who were increasingly unpopular among the young population. And he saw that it could be an existential threat to the monarchy.
For decades, much of Saudi Arabia's society had been controlled by the Wahhabi conservative Islamic clerics. MBS had already begun to curb their powers, but many remained influential inside the kingdom.
It's my father. It's a moment of father-son. It's something like very personal for both.
السلام عليكم. أرسلت لولدي رسالة قلت له على فكرة ترى يحبك.
Abdullah al-Uda's father, Salman, was one of the most popular clerics. He had 13 million followers on social media and a chat show on a Saudi Arabian TV channel.
So my father, he mobilized thousands of people who followed him and liked him.
Salman sometimes used his platform to offer advice on how Saudi Arabia should be run.
أيها الدعاة بقول لكم كلمة واحدة بس ترى الزمان تغير كبير.
My father supported constitutional monarchy proposal in the kingdom and wrote a whole letter of advice to Prince Salman at the time on how to reform the kingdom, involving people in the decision making. Mohammed bin Salman visited our house in Riyadh. He talked to my father. He listened to how my father aspired for how the kingdom should be.
But soon after MBS became crown prince, Salman al-Uda was arrested. The pretext was a tweet, wishing MBS would resolve a dispute with a neighboring Gulf state.
May Allah harmonize between the hearts of the leaders for the best of their people. My father's arrest was personal from MPS because he called for reform, constitutional monarchy, democracy, state of rights and institutions. That's what he pushed for, and that's what he's paying high price for. It feels ironic that Mohammed bin Salman, who came to our house in Riyadh to supposedly learn from my father's wisdom and experience, now puts my father in jail, seeks the death penalty against him.
And Salman al-Uda wasn't alone. In just 1 week, several dozen religious figures, journalists, academics and activists were arrested as part of a crackdown on freedom of expression. In the spring of 2018, MBS travelled to America his first visit since becoming Crown Prince.
It's an honor to have the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia with us and his representatives.
Trump had supported MBS's rise to power, and now MBS could repay him with a huge order to buy American-made weapons.
A promise of $400 billion was made by Saudi Arabia for the purchase of our equipment and other things.
At the time, Kirsten Fontenrose was one of the White House's senior foreign policy advisors.
We brief the president right before he meets with a foreign leader on everything that's important about that visit. And the Commerce Department came in with a poster board of the aircraft that Saudi Arabia had just purchased.
$3 billion, $533 million.
The airplanes were the wrong planes. So the right names, the wrong pictures.
$525 million, that's peanuts for you. Should have increased it.
And we had to kind of sit there and quietly just laugh at the fact that this poster board was actually showing all of the wrong aircraft.
$645 million, $6 billion, that's for frigates.
That was a circus of a visit. But it was important, I think, for him to be perceived as a partner going forward, somebody we were building with, this new era in the Middle East. This was the person we were kind of hanging our hopes and dreams on. So when I came away from it, I thought, maybe we can work with this. Maybe this is somebody who's really trying to make some changes and really wants to get their hands around the meaty issues.
During the visit, one issue was raised that was seen both by those inside and outside the kingdom as totemic: women driving.
We've been stopped by traffic police. We had just started 2 minutes ago. It looks like they're well prepared for the day, so we'll see how it goes.
Saudi Arabia was the last country in the world to continue to ban women from driving. And Mohammed bin Salman knew that this topic is extremely hot. He also knew that allowing women to drive will be popular in the West.
A campaign for women to have the right to drive had been going for years in Saudi Arabia. One of the campaigners was Lujain Al-Hathlul. She posted videos of herself driving illegally. And had been arrested for her campaigning. MBS announced a